Family uses AI to create video for deadly Chandler road rage victim's own impact statement. Now, I want to be clear. An impact statement is not someone testifying to something that they experienced or witnessed. It is not a legally binding or particularly, I don't know how you would call it. It doesn't have a legal weight, let's say, in terms of pure legal facts. It's an impact statement, which means that somebody just talks about how they were impacted by something, and those kinds of feelings or life situations are taken into account. Now, depending on the legal case, you might take an impact statement as one of several factors, but sometimes an impact statement can be completely dismissed. For example, you might say, I had an impact on somebody saying something mean about me because the impact to me was it hurt my feelings and I should be awarded $2 million for this thing. And that's not always a legally pursuant, like an open legal door that a judge or a jury or whomever can take to actually stand on the case that you should win $2 million. But the impact statement, has some kind of viability in certain cases. Now, what they did was this guy was killed in a road rage incident in Chandler. No, go away notifications in 2021. And so what the family did was they brought this guy back to life in AI, and they made him talk to the court. They made him, quote him, right? Talk to the courtroom about his life and the day he met Gabrielle Paul Horcasitas, who 404'd him during a confrontation near these roads. Now, this is why I have mixed feelings, because there is no possible way that an AI regeneration of this person is going to have all the mental facts that the real life person had during this altercation. There's zero shot. You cannot tell me that the AI recreation of this person understood how it felt to face this road rage incident, knew all the intricacies of what happened during that day, and understood what it was like, the impact to them when they were 404. However, what they did do is they took some family pictures, some previous videos, etc., and they kind of added that to the AI video that was generated here. That's why I have mixed feelings about this. I don't like it, but I can understand how you might take actual historical stuff that's actually recorded, and you might make an AI video that can kind of capture the essence of who a person was and what a person might have said, and maybe that has a little bit of weight. And I would even be okay with that if it was really legally clear that the weight of such a video testimonial should not be taken without with any massive amounts of seriousness. Kind of like a light thing, like what could have been, right? And you just take it with a little bit of with a lot of grain of salt, actually. And maybe a little bit of, the AI might get a few feelings and emotions out the door about the person based on purely historical stuff. That would be pretty much the only way that I could see this kind of a thing being beneficial. However, ultimately, this isn't a good thing. Because if you're going to take AI and you're going to talk about an incident that wasn't recorded, you have no idea what this guy was saying or thinking or doing or experiencing during this time, and you're going to make AI, given all the stuff we've covered about AI so far, it lies, it hallucinates, typo squatting, slop squatting, feeling squatting, psychological imbalance tendencies, all of that, and you put that into recreating a person in a legal setting, that is extremely dangerous. Now, unfortunately, I want you to read what happened. The state asked for a 9.5-year sentence, and the judge ended up giving Horcasitas 10.5 years for manslaughter. No problem here. No problem. Zero issues up to this point so far in the wordage of this article. Yeah, you take a man's life, zero issues with you spending 10, 20, 30. I actually think 10 and a half might even be too little, in my personal opinion. It's just my personal opinion. You take someone's life, you should do the time. 100%. However, after being so moved by the powerful video, family says. Now, that's from the family's perspective, but the judge even referred to the video in his closing sentencing statement. This had an impact, and I argue it shouldn't have. This should not have had this kind of an impact. And if what this does now, if you don't know how legal precedence works, this is all it takes. Legal precedence is that down the road, someone can literally take this court case and say, but a judge over here accepted it and admitted it. Therefore, it's okay in this current court case. That's how legal precedence works. And usually, judges go with the decisions that other judges go by. Why? Because if they don't, then it opens up a whole slew of legal questions that need to be answered and clogs up the justice systems by having to have judges figure out what is the accurate and proper way to implement particular aspects of the law. So this is particularly dangerous. I ultimately don't like where this is going, even though I can understand some of the aspects and reasoning behind it.